Mangalam sadhu veshaya shishya chitta vilasine vidita kila vedyaya moksha vigna vigatine Saumya Kashi nivasaya deshikaya viragine Chaitanyananda rupaya jivan muktaya mangalam Om Shanti 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 Om Freedom 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 Om Bolo Shri Sadgurudev Swami Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Sadgurudev Swami Vishnudevananda Maharaj Ki Jai Om Namah Shivaya. Good afternoon. We continue today with the Chandogya Upanishad. So far we had 4 lectures. In the first evening satsang we were discussing in general about the Vedas and the Upanishads and also the Vedas and the Upanishads. And then in the next 3 lectures we started to study the Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 7. And we have seen that chapter 7 is a discussion between Sanat Kumara and Narada. Narada is the student and Sanat Kumara is the teacher. In the beginning, Narada is telling Sanat Kumara about all that he already knows. And Sanat Kumara told him, listen, all you know is just names. You don't understand, you don't know the essence. And Narada is asking him, please teach me the essence. I want to know the true nature of the self, because I have heard that one who knows the self crosses beyond all suffering. And then Sanat Kumara starts very gradually, very slowly to teach. And every time he is telling him about something else which is a little higher, to worship that as the self, to worship that as Brahman, as the absolute reality. Initially he said you have to worship name, and then he said you have to worship speech, and then we had the mind, and after that the will, sankalpa, right? And then chitta, chitta means intelligence, and dhyana, meditation, and vijnanam, practical understanding of the teachings. And still we are going on. Every time he is telling him something a little higher. And yesterday at the end, I already told you what is going to be today. Today we are going to speak about strength, power. And this is in section 8. Okay, so this is where we are starting now from section 8. Balam vava vijnanad bhuyaha apiha shatam vijnanavatam eko balavan akampayate sayada bali bhavati ata uttatha bhavati utishtan paricharita bhavati paricharan upasatta bhavati upasidan drishta bhavati shrota bhavati manta bhavati buddha bhavati karta bhavati vijñata bhavati balena vai prithivi tishtati balena antariksham balena dyaur balena parvata balena deva manushyaha balena pashavascha vayamsi cha trina vanaspataya shvapadani akita patangapi pilikam balena lokaha tishtati balamupasveti. Sanat Kumar tells Narada, definitely there is something which is higher than meditation, not meditation. We were in Vijnana. Definitely there is something which is higher than Vijnana, the practical understanding. And what is that? This is strength, power, balam. In Sanskrit the word is balam. And this is of course very strange to us. We tend to think that power is not that important. Understanding is more important than power, right? But he says, no, power, Balam, is greater than Vijnanam, than realization or practical understanding. And he says, why? Apiha shatam vijnanavatam eko balavan akampayate. Suppose there are 100 people, vijnanavatam, who are have very good understanding. And then comes someone who is very powerful. They say, akampayate, he causes all the 100 to be in fear. That one person who has a lot of strength, he is causing them to be in a great fear. That's why he is superior to them. Now here we have to understand that strength is not necessarily physical, brutal strength. This is not the idea. Brutality is not what Sanat Kumara is teaching Narada. There are many levels of strength which are superior to physical strength. Physical strength is also important. Is essential, is very important in the sense of health. We have to take care of our body. There is a very famous maxim in Sanskrit, Sharira Madhyam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. The first thing that you need in order to be able to do sadhana, to accomplish your goals, is a body, a physical, healthy body. Suppose you are sick, suppose you are very weak, you cannot even do meditation, you cannot do asana, you cannot do any sadhana. So a physical body is very important. Many times we see sadhakas, spiritual practitioners, who neglect the body. They don't care for the body. Oh, it's just the body. And sometimes we think, oh, how great they are. They are so spiritual that they don't care for their body. But this is not what yoga teaches. Yoga says you have to take good care of your body because this is your vehicle. The body is your vehicle that is taking you towards liberation, and you have to take a good care of it. The body is like a temple. Krishna says many times in the Bhagavad Gita that he resides in the hearts of all beings. Sarva bhuta shayastitaha. Ishvaro sarva bhutanam hrideshir junatishthati. In many places in the Gita he says. If God resides in my heart, then my physical body is the temple of God, is it not? Just as in the temple, we have a murti, we have an idol that represents the divinity. If that divinity is within my heart, then my body is a temple. I have to take care of it. I have to nourish it. I have to clean it. I have to make sure it is in good repair. This is my vehicle that allows me to plod on the spiritual path. If I neglect it, no spiritual progress is possible. That's why we see it in all branches of yoga, particularly in Raja Yoga, in Hatha Yoga. We see a lot of emphasis to keep the body in good repair. In the Chandogya Upanishad, we find Nayamatma balahinena labhya. This self cannot be attained by weak people. Yeah, they say you have to have strength. So physical strength is one thing, it is good. But then mental strength is even more important. People with strong mind, strong determination, we see that they move the world. Look at history. Who will remember? Mahatma Gandhi. How much strength was there? Physically, he was not very strong. But how much strength was there? If he decided something, that's it. It is done. Nothing can move him. Nothing can change his mind. He knows the goal and he will go for it. Lord Buddha, sitting under the Bodhi tree, and deciding I'm not going to leave this space, even if my body drops. I will not give up until I get enlightenment. This is strength. So here, Sanat Kumar is eulogizing strength. He says strength is so important. A strong person, in his presence, even 100 learned people will be shaking with fear. That's what he says. Sayada bali bhavati. When a person has strength, then he gets enthusiastic. He has enthusiasm. Okay? And then, ata uttata bhavati. Then also, he gets up and doing, he is ready to act. A person who has strength, he gets enthusiastic and ready to act, to do. What he does? Uttishtan paricharita bhavati. After he is up and doing, he is going and serving the teacher. Going and serving his guru. That's what the Sanat Kumara says. First, he has this power and enthusiasm, and he is up and doing. Once he is ready to come and do, he goes and serves the teacher. Paricharan upasata bhavati. While serving the guru, he is getting close to him. Upasidan, upasata means to come and sit near. But the idea is he is getting close to him. Okay? Upasidan drashta bhavati, shrota bhavati, manta bhavati, buddha bhavati, karta bhavati, vijñata bhavati. Once he is getting close to the teacher, then he sees the teaching, he sees the conduct of the teacher, how to behave, what to do. Shrota bhavati is listening to the teachings of the guru. Manta bhavati, he contemplates. He is doing mananam. He is contemplating about the teachings. Buddha bhavati, he gets some understanding of the teaching. Karta bhavati, he is acting upon it. He is doing the right thing. And finally, vijñata bhavati, he realizes. He realizes the teaching. He understands truly the teachings. Everything starts here with strength. And we see how Sanat Kumara is bringing here the topic of the teacher. How essential in our spiritual path is a teacher. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna in chapter 4 says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevate sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. By long prostration, pranipatena, through long prostration, pariprashnena, through questioning, sevaya, and through service to the Guru, upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Those who have seen the truth, those who knows the truth, will instruct you about it. So, when a person comes to a guru, first of all, what is necessary is a long prostration. What is a long prostration? Does the guru need you to lie on the floor in front of him? That it makes the guru anyway better? No. What is a long prostration? What is prostration? Prostration is the physical expression of humbleness, is the physical expression of surrender. When you are prostrating before somebody, you are expressing surrender. You are expressing gratitude, right? When you come to the Guru, you have to leave your ego outside. You have to come open, naked in a sense, without any ego. Then only the Guru can teach you. Then only there is a chance to receive. They say If you want to receive something and you come with a clenched fist, nobody can give you anything. You first have to open. You have to open up. In the same way, you have to open up before your teacher. You have to surrender humbly. This is the first thing which is necessary when you come to teach from your guru. Okay? The second thing, pariprashnena. We need to question. Questioning not necessarily means physically going and asking the guru many questions. This is not the idea. The idea is to open your heart for the teaching. The idea is to question yourself regarding the teaching. Try to realize what the teacher is telling you, what the teachings are. You have to be active about it. You cannot just sit quiet and expect that the very presence of the teacher will give you all the teachings and that's it. There is a sweet story about this, I will tell you. There is one guru and disciple, teacher and student, walking for already 12 years. They are wandering from one place to another. And the student, one day, while they are walking, is thinking for himself, already 12 years I'm with my teacher and I'm still not able even to meditate properly. I don't know the truth. I didn't realize yet. Maybe my teacher is not the right person for me. You know, always we will think maybe the problem is with the other. We never ask, maybe the problem is right here, right? So he is thinking like this, but his guru was a real jnani. So he could understand, he could pick up this thought. And he said, he was not angry or something, it's not like that, but he just felt, okay, maybe I need to teach him something about it. That evening they arrived to a little village on the bank of the Narmada River. And they located themselves on the bank of the river. And the guru tells the student, okay, I will take now my ablutions, my bath, and do my prayers. You can go to the village and beg our meal. They used to eat one meal a day. Okay? And the disciple is going to town, and he go. Now, you know, according to the rules of sannyasa, you have to beg your food. And when you go begging, if you are refused food in 3 houses, that day you go without food. In the second day, if you refused in 5 houses, you go without food. Like these, there are rules. So you have to know you have to know how to choose, you know. Also, some places you get very good food, some places you... So this guy, he was already an expert. He was searching for the right house to ask, you know. Suddenly, he hears somebody is calling, Swamiji, Swamiji. He's looking around, he doesn't see anybody. Again, Swamiji, Swamiji. He looks, he cannot see any person, but suddenly he sees inside, in the entrance of one house, there is a little cage, and in that there is a bird, a parrot. And that parrot is calling him, Swamiji, Swamiji, come here. Never in his life he saw such an intelligent bird can speak. He comes, and the bird is telling him, Swamiji, you should ask food from the master of my house. She will give you food. Okay, he is going, and outside the door he is standing, and he is calling, Bhiksha Dehi, or Narayana Hari. This is the way they are begging food, right? Bhiksha Dehi means, please give me some alms. And every order of sannyasa will have a different mantra that they repeat when they beg food. So in our line, in our order, it is Narayana Hari. This is what we call when we beg food. So that lady is coming out. And really, she is very nice. She is inviting him in. She is feeding him, and she is packing some food for his teacher. He is very happy, the food was very good, and he goes back to the river. On the way, when he comes out, suddenly, when he goes out again, he passes by the cage of the bird, of the parrot, and the parrot says, Swamiji, I have one request. He says, yes, what do you want? He says, when you go back, please ask your Guruji, how can I get free? He says, okay, but please don't forget. I will not forget, I will tell him, don't worry. And he goes back. He arrives to the bank where his guru is there, and they are sitting, the guru is serving the guru is eating his dinner. And the guru asks him, so tell me, how was your visit to the village? Did anything interesting? He said, yeah, you know what, I forgot to mention, but when I went there, I saw this bird, this parrot was so intelligent. It called me and he tells him the whole story. And then he says, and you know, when I was about to leave, he just asked me to ask you something. He asked, how shall he get free? I don't know what he wanted. As he's speaking, suddenly the guru was choked over the food he was eating, and he started turning purple, red and purple, and he just fainted. And the disciple got panicked. He started resuscitating him and try everything, brought water from the river and everything. Ultimately, after a long time, he was able to revive his Guruji. And this day ended. They went to sleep. The Guru was tired from all this. They went to sleep that day early. Next day in the morning, they were about to start walking again. And before leaving, the Guru told the disciple, you know, we will not pass by any other village today. So I suggest that you go back to the village and beg our meal for today. Okay, he goes back to that village. And he happened to pass again by that house. And the parrot asked him, Swamiji, did you get the answer for me? He said, you stupid bird, I don't know what's wrong with you. But as soon as I asked him, you start choking. It took me 10 minutes to revive him. He almost passed away. As the parrot hears this, suddenly the parrot starts flapping and he's falling to the floor of the cage and dies. Lose consciousness. And from all this noise, that lady came out. And suddenly she sees her parrot lifeless on the floor of the cage. She's so disturbed. She goes and she opens the door. She takes the parrot and to see if he's still alive. And as she holds the parrot with tears in her eyes, suddenly the parrot flies up and sits on the tree. And then he says, Swamiji, you see, 12 years you are with your guru, you didn't learn anything. I took one lesson and see, I'm already free. So you see, it is not always enough to be with great people. We have actively to try our best to learn, to do actively to learn, not just to sit in their presence. It is good. Satsanga, it is good, but it is not enough. It has to be active. Therefore, Krishna says, by long prostration and by questioning, you have to actively search the knowledge from the teacher, and then sevaya, true service. Service is very important. You have to serve your teacher in whatever way you can. Not that the teacher needs a service. It is not that the teacher needs your service, no. But you need the service because that will open your heart. This is what Karma Yoga is about. And when this Karma Yoga, this service is directed towards the teacher, it has the highest result, the highest fruit. And serving the teacher doesn't necessarily mean preparing coffee for your teacher. If the teacher asks you to go and teach somewhere, this is serving. Doing that, following the instructions, this is service to the teacher. The highest service that you can do to your teacher is to follow their instructions. Okay? So this is a very important topic, and it is very beautiful that Sanat Kumara is bringing it into these teachings, even though it is not directly the topic. I remind you, he says, Yadi Bali Bhavati, when a person has strength, then he becomes enthusiastic, and then Uttata Bhavati, he becomes up and doing, he is ready to act. And once he is up and doing, he is Paricharita Bhavati, he is going and serving the Guru. He is serving his acharya, his teacher. Paricharan Upasata Bhavati, once he is serving him, he is getting closer and closer to him. And because once he is getting closer to him, Drashta Bhavati, Shrota Bhavati, Manta Bhavati, Bodha Bhavati, Karta Bhavati, Vigyata Bhavati. He is seeing with his eyes the teacher and his teachings. Shrota, he is listening carefully to the teachings. And Manta Bhavati, he is doing manana, he is doing contemplation about what he sees and what he hears. And Bodha Bhavati, he is trying to grasp the teachings, he is trying to get the meaning. And Karta Bhavati, he is following the instructions. He is practicing yama and niyama, etc. And finally, Vigyata Bhavati, he is realizing the teachings. Therefore, Balena, and then he says, Balena vai pritivi tishtati. The earth, indeed, or verily, by strength, the earth is supported. Through power, through strength, the earth is supported. Balena antariksham, also the intermediate space. Yesterday we discussed about it also. Yesterday we said that the earth and the intermediate space in the sky, they are as if meditating. You remember that was yesterday or the day before? We talked about meditation. Now he says it is through strength that the earth is holding. It is through strength that the interspace is holding itself. And it is through Balena Jyahu. Also the sky is held to power. Balena Parvata. How much power is there in the mountain? The power of presence, the power of strength, is the strength of being, of stability, is the characteristic of the mountain. Balena Deva Manushyaha. And also we see strength in Devas, in gods, and in Manushyaha, in human beings. Therefore he says, he continues, he says, Balena Pashavaha. Also we see strength in animals. And Vayamsicha, Vayamsi means, and in birds, the life force, we see strength within animals, within human beings, within birds. Also Trina Vanaspataya, in trees and creepers. Shwapadani Akita Patanga Pipilikam. These are all different types of insects. Balena Loka, and all the world is held by strength. Therefore he says, Balam Upasveti, you should worship strength. Okay? So here we see and understand that strength is superior even to Vijnana, the implication, the physical implication of knowledge that we are seeing. It is superior in the sense that it precedes it, it comes before, and physical strength, and particularly mental strength, and even more than that, spiritual strength, is that strength which supports the whole world. The entire world is supported by this different type of balam, of power, of strength. Sayo balam brahmeti upaste yavad balasya gatam tatrasya yata kamacharo bhavati yo balam brahmeti upaste asti bhagavo balad bhuya iti balad vava bhuyo asti iti tanme bhagavan bravitu iti ashtama kandaha. This is the end of the 8th section. And it is a little similar to the endings we have seen before. Sayo balam brahmeti upaste. That person who worships Brahman as balam, as strength, as power. Yavad balasya gatam, as far as strength can go. Tatra asya yata kamacharo bhavati. That far, that person can go according to his own wish. Yata kamacharo, as your desire is, you can go, but you cannot exceed the limitations of strength. This is the idea. If you worship Brahman as strength, you can go anywhere you want according to your desire within these limitations of strength. You cannot transcend it. You cannot go beyond it. Asti bhagavo balad bhuya iti. So, is there anything which is superior to strength? Balad vava bhuyo asti iti. Certainly, there is something which is higher than strength. Tanme bhagavan bravitu iti. Please, sir, I want to know. Tell me, what is superior to strength? What do you think? Annam vava balad bhuyaha. Tasmat yadyapita sharatrirna ashnayat yadi uha jivet atava adrashta ashrota amanta abuddha karta vijñata bhavati atha annasya ayyai drashta bhavati shrota bhavati manta bhavati buddha bhavati karta bhavati vijñata bhavati annamupasveti. What is superior or greater than balam, strength? This is annam. Annam means food. It is with 2 N, anna. We put more strength. There is, if you just say anna, this means breath. But anna with double N means food. Anna vava bhuyat. Anna, or food, is definitely superior to strength. Why? Yadyapi dasharatrir na ashnayat. Suppose a person is not eating for 10 nights. Nights means nights and days. It's not only days. It's not only nights. Suppose a person for 10 days is not eating anything. Yadi uha jivet. He may still be alive. Right? After 10 days of fasting, a person may still be alive, right? But adrashta, he is not able to see properly. Ashrota, he is not able to hear properly. Amanta, he is not able to think properly. Abuddha, he is not able to think about, to understand, to think about what he has to do or about anything. His mind becomes clouded. Akarta is not able to do properly things. Avijñata is not able to realize anything. Ata annasya yahi. Suppose now, after these 10 days, that he fasted and now he is very weak, he is not able to hear, to see, to do things properly. Now suddenly he eats. He gets a good meal. You know, after a long fast, you have to break it very gradually. But he does it so slowly. He eats a little bit, wait a few hours, and eat more, and like this. And then finally, he takes a proper meal. What happened then? Drashta bhavati. Again, he is able to see. Shrota bhavati. Again, he is able to hear. Manta bhavati. He is able to think. Bodha bhavati. He is able to understand or know things. Karta bhavati is able to do, and Vijñata bhavati is able to realize things. He has now the power that he lacked before, right? When you fast for 10 days, what is going away? Your balam, your strength is going away. So your strength depends on food, is it not? Therefore, food is superior to strength. Therefore, Sanat Kumara says, Annam upasveti, you should worship food. Okay, now we should say a few things about food, right? First of all, food is not only the physical food we are eating in the kitchen. Every intake is a form of food. There is food for the body, there is food for the mind also. We have to understand and we have to discriminate. And in our society, we find too often that people are very, very careful about the food they eat to nourish their body, and they are not careful at all about the food they take in order to nourish their mind. Right? In our society, we tend to allow anything to go into the mind. You know, when we see TV, we are basically, when we watch TV, and I'm not condemning watching TV, it's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying that we need to understand that when you are watching TV, you are like going to a restaurant and say, whatever you give me, I will eat. Because you are open, you have no control about what is being. You can either open or close the TV or move to other channel, of course. But whatever is there, you are taking in. And it is going to affect you. This is also a type of food. And if you eat rubbish, if you eat poison, what are you expecting your body to look like? If you want to have a sound, healthy body, you have to eat wholesome food. We all know that. That's why one reason why we are coming here. Here you get very wholesome and very good food that supports and nourishes the body and allows you to be healthy and to have the strength that you need for spiritual sadhana, etc. But here also you get the food for the mental food that you need. This is even a more important aspect of this place and place alike. You come here and you get very wholesome mental food that supports you and nourishes you. All the chanting and the meditation and the classes and the teachings, all this stuff is food. This is intake. You are taking it in. This is what you are, you know. We say you are what you eat, right? There is nothing here which is not something I ate at some point, right? Do you realize it? All these are things I have eaten. So if I eat junk, what I am expecting this to be? This will also become junk if I eat junk. We have to understand it. We have to live up to it. And then it is the same or even more so in case of the mind. What is your mind? The mind is the sum total of all your impressions, things that you are taking in and you are processing. That becomes your mind. So you have to take care. You have to be careful what you are taking in and how you process it. And sometimes there is mental indigestion. You know, It creates mental gas. Yeah. There are side effects. We do unwholesome things. We intake unwholesome impressions. And it has an effect on us. And then we don't understand why I'm depressed. Why am I unhappy? Think, what did you take in that caused this? What did I take in that now I'm feeling so down? And what should I do? What is the medicine? What should I do in order to get okay again? I need to take wholesome. I need to take a mental medicine, not pills and antidepressants. We have to intake things that will elevate our mind, like chanting, like studying, like practice, like meditation, like association with other sadhakas, with other spiritual seekers. We can never estimate it enough. It is so important, the company that we keep around us. This is another form of food. You know, we always tend to forget it. We constantly absorb things from the environment in all kinds of ways. So one way is just eating. Another way is by breathing. We are also absorbing things from the environment. But another way is just the society, the company that we keep. You know, how many people experience that you come to the ashram and you are so happy and you feel so elevated and you are so inspired and you say, yes, when I'm going back home, I will practice every day asanas and meditation, and every Sunday I will go to the satsang in the yoga center. And then you go home back to your friends and those people they are not bad, they are not wrong people, but their company is not elevating you and inspiring you in this direction. Sometimes they have their own habits. Sometimes they are not tuned in this direction. They may be, and usually they are, the most wonderful people and very nice people, but still their company is not supporting this. And then after 1 week home, you forget all about the elevation that you got in the ashram. All the inspiration, all the beauty, all the power that you got, it is all deflating. Why? Because we are not able to keep the right company. So the environment, the people around us, the places we live are also forms of food. Some places we go and we feel so low, you know? We feel so low. Why? This is another form of intake. It is another form of food. It affects our mental body. You know, in Vedanta we talk about, we don't have only one body. We have different, actually they say we have 3 bodies. We have the physical body, then the astral body, and finally the causal body. So the causal body is very subtle and it is not exactly a body in the sense of it doesn't have a structure. It is called a body because it is the cause of the other 2 bodies. And it is made, they say it is made of ignorance. The causal body is made of ignorance. But ignorance is not matter, right? So we have to understand it is more an idea, a concept. And then we have the astral body. This is all the mental faculties that are associated with us. And it is made of subtle matter. I mentioned the other day the 10 matras. It is also matter, but it is subtle. Even Swami Shivananda explained, it has a form, it has a shape. You know, the thoughts we have within our mind, they are concrete objects. They are not made of the physical elements, and therefore we cannot see them, you cannot hear them. But they are concrete, they have a shape, they have a color. He describes how a person who is angry looks, for a person who is able to perceive, for a person who is able to see this subtle body, how a person who is angry looks. Says it is all, there is a red hood and like sparks, and it is very unpleasant sight. Like this, the astral body is also a body, and we are nourishing it with whatever we are intaking and whatever we allow the mind to go through. Therefore, we have to be like a gardener, you know. A gardener is walking in the garden, he is uprooting all the weeds, and he is protecting and cultivating all the good plants. This is what Patanjali Maharshi says in the Yoga Sutra, that the yogi is like a gardener. So we have a little garden, which is our mind. We have to be a gardener. We have to just take out all the weeds. You know what is a weed? What is the definition of a weed? The definition of a weed is a plant which is not in the proper place. Because that which is a weed in particular field, in another field that will be the crop. Right? And that which is now the crop in that field will become a weed. Okay? Anyway, this is not our topic. We are not, we are not discussing gardening, but we are discussing the gardening of the mind. We have to be gardeners. We have to be very mindful about what we are allowing in, what we are not allowing in. We have to very carefully uproot all the impressions which are unwholesome, which are not supporting our spiritual path. And we have to nurture and support and strengthen those impressions which are necessary, which are important. How do we do it? By chanting, by meditation, by association with the right people, and all these practices which we call sadhana are all means to help us to turn our mental garden into a beautiful flowering garden. Okay? So Sanat Kumara says, Anam Vava Balad Bhuyaha Asti. The food is even superior to strength. Without food, without wholesome food, wholesome intake, you cannot have that strength which is necessary. And therefore, it comes before. It is superior. Sayo anam brahmeti upaste anavato vaisa lokan panavato abhisidhyati yavatanasya gatam tatrasya yata kamacharo bhavati yo anam brahmeti upaste asti bhagavo anadbhuya iti anadvava bhuyo asti iti tanme bhagavan bravitu iti iti navama khandaha. This is the end of the 9th khanda, from the 9th section. Sayo annam brahmeti upaste. Such a person who worships Brahman as food. Anavato vaisa lokan panavato abhisidhyati. Such a person attains to these worlds of eating and drinking. It is, I want to see how it is translated here. Yeah. One who worships food as Brahman attains world full of food and drink. Sounds good, no? Yavat anasya gatam, as far as food can go, tatra asya yata kamacharo bhavati. To that extent, that person can go according to his or her own wish. Yo anam brahmeti upaste, for a person who worships Brahman as annam, as food. Asti bhagavo anad bhuya iti. Sir, Is there anything which is superior to food? Anadvara bhuyo asti iti. Of course, there is something which is superior to food. Tanme Bhagavan bravitu iti. Please, sir, tell me about that. I want to know. Okay, so this is the end of the 9th section. And now, the next one, we can cover that too. Or at least start it. Apo bhava anadbhuyaha tasmat yada suvrishtirna bhavati vyadhiyante pranaha anam kaniyo bhavishyati atha yada suvrishtir bhavati anandinaha prana bhavanti annam bahu bhavishyati appaeva ima murtaha yeyam prithvi yadantariksham yadyaur yat parvata yadeva manushya yat pashavascha vayam sicha trina vanaspataya shvapadani akitta patanga pipilikam apa eva ima murta apa upasveti. What is superior to food? Apaha. Apaha means water. Water is superior to food. Water is essential for food. You cannot have food without water. How come? Tasmat yada suvrishtir na bhavati. Suppose, Sanat Kumaram says, suppose at a certain year there is not enough rain. Suvrishtir. Suvrishtir means good rain. The prefix su in Sanskrit means good. You know, I think I explained it, maybe not here. There is two words, sukha and dukkha in Sanskrit, which are very famous. Sukha means joy or happiness or pleasure, and dukkha means pain or displeasure. Okay? Now, K-H-A in Sanskrit means space. Ka means space. And sukha means good space. You know, happiness means good space. What happens when we are happy? We feel pleasure. The space is good, is filled, is complete. And dukkha is just the opposite, is bad space. This is the literal translation of dukkha. Okay, so here he's saying suvrishti. Vrishti is rain. So suvrishti is good rain. So he says, yada, suppose, suvrishtir na bhavati. Suppose that at certain time there is no good rain in a particular place. Vyadhiyante pranaha. Pranaha means those who have prana. Basically is people or living beings. But here he refers to people. It says prana vyadhiyante. They are anxious. What do they say? Anam kaniyaha bhavishyati iti. There will be too little food because there is no much rain. Ata yada suvrishtir bhavati. And when there is good rain, on the other hand, anandinaha prana bhavanti, people becomes anandinaha, very happy. They are joyous. Why? Anam bahu bhavishyati iti. They say there is going to be a lot of food. So we see that the plentiful of food depends on water, depends on the rain. Therefore, water is superior to food. Appaha eva ima murta. Now he says something else. He says all these things, all the people and the the animals and the birds and all these creatures that we described before, and many other things, they are eva ima murta. They are all modifications of water. They are all different forms of water, right? We all say always, we are 70% water, right? The physical body is 70% water or whatever. The idea is that this is all modification of water. Ye yam prithvi. Also, the earth is coming from water. You know, according to the evolution of Prakriti, the earth, the element of earth, is evolved out of the element of water, is coming from it. So ultimately the earth even is water. Yadantariksham, even the intermediate space, is just a different form of water. Yadyaur, even the sky is a modification of water. Yat Parvata, even the mountain is a modification of water. Yeah, it says all these are water in different forms. And then Ya Deva Manushya, also the Devas, the gods, and the human beings, they are all water. Yat Pashavascha Vayamsicha Trina Vanaspataya Shvapadani Akita Patanga Pipilikam. These are all the different creatures. Okay, we have discussed it already. They are the okay, we don't have time. All the different living beings. Apaha eva ima murtaha. All these are different forms of water. Apa upasveti. Therefore you should worship water. Worship water as Brahman. What will happen to a person who worships water as Brahman? We shall see tomorrow. I have to do some marketing, right? So people come. Okay, one moment of silence, and then we will do the final prayers and conclude. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma mritam gamaya om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Freedom, Freedom, Freedom. Om Bolo Shri Sadgurudev Swami Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Sadgurudev Swami Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
So we